Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Estonia 7 Key World Cup 2024. Hopefully you guys had a lovely break between the last match and this one, because we have a lot more tournament action left to give you guys before the weekend is over. And what better way to continue an outstanding block of matches than bringing you guys the next one. It's going to be Poland going up against Estonia. As always, my name is Sparky, and I am joined in the commentary booth by none other than Boma Gamer PH76. Emily, how are you doing?
Hello, Sparky! Thanks so much for the wonderful introduction. Indeed, it is going to be an exciting match, seeing Poland and Estonia together. I'm honestly happy to see Estonia in the scene. I believe this is the first appearance in any Mania World Cup ever.
I believe so. I believe they are debuting, at least in the 7-key scene. I don't believe I've seen it in the 4-key scene either. I could be wrong there. It goes back quite a ways before my time. But as always, lovely to see new faces in and around the 7-key scene, keeping it around and healthy as we get on into this upcoming match. Poland, no strangers to the 7-key World Cup scene. New faces faces returning, and new faces making their appearance here for them. They have been a mainstay of the 7-key scene. A lot of very well-known players have come and gone through their roster, and having them spearheaded with the Dark Dragon making their appearance once again should give them a bit of a leg up in terms of overall tournament experience against this Estonian two-man roster. And it looks like we are already into the roles, going to get into the protects, and it looks like LN2 is going to be the protect for Estonia. Not surprising, Chronoxia has been a pretty popular pick for the LN-oriented teams, and Poland going to opt to protect Rice 4. Unsurprising there in response.
Honestly, I have to say this. I'm happy to see the Dark Dragon playing again. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Dark Dragon wasn't playing 7K for a while, or at least wasn't in the good condition to play 7K because of an injury. I could be wrong. Please correct me, anyone in the chat if ever. But it's just nice to see an older name coming back. And as for Estonia, as I keep on saying, it's nice to see new names. That being said, LN and Rice spans for Poland and Estonia respectively. It makes a lot of sense, especially considering the structure of these teams.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be fair, when you have a team like Estonia where you maybe don't have that much information, you kind of just want to stick to your guns, stick to what you're comfortable with. And it looks like Estonia is going to stick to these LN picks. So Crush Alcohol actually going to be the opening pick in this match. Pretty spicy pick overall to kick off your tournament debut, if I were to say so myself.
Well, we're just waiting for the second player of Estonia. I mean, there's really only one, who is Isaela. There we go.
Yeah, Estonia, whom you see on screen is going to be the two you see on screen the entirety of this match. Arcaxio and Hisea are going to be the stalwarts for their country. The Dark Dragon and Bagietka are probably going to be playing a majority of the maps for Poland. They do have a third in reserve. Be interesting to see if they come in for any of these maps. But with that being said, ready it up pretty quickly. MP Star Command comes out. We're going to get into this first map of this best of 9. First team to 5 points will be seeing themselves through to that winner's round of 16. Loser not eliminated just yet. Just going to need to make that run in the lower bracket. Let's see how they do.
Alright. Let's see how they're going to do indeed. LN seem to be something that Estonia is under forte, but wait a second, Hisaela releasing too early it seems. Meanwhile, on the Polish side, we're seeing a balance of scores. I just have a feeling Hisaela maybe forgot to change scroll speed or had some configurations. Doesn't really matter though, because I know she can definitely increase her accuracy. But the Dark Dragon fighting a drop, that's definitely gonna help Estonia's chances. Not to mention, this is density, so it's not exactly the hardest to gain at either.
Yeah, not the hardest to gain act, not the hardest to get back up over that 400 combo cap, so gonna be able to mitigate some of the damage that could have potentially been done to Dark Dragon, already getting back up over that 400 combo cap, gonna be able to stem some of the bleeding here and regain control of that score lead. Did lower ever so slightly back up over a healthy 5-digit advantage as Arcoxio finds the miss in return in this bit of an interlude before things start to pick up once again into the back half of the map. Hisaela holding on to the Soul FC for Estonia, but doesn't have the accuracy at the moment to really mount much of a challenge to this lead that Poland has built up, starting to increase to about 27,000 points with the next drop coming through here.
Very unfortunate, really, but at the end of the day, Hisaela and Bagietka are keeping that consistency together. Very impressive work. See, the thing about this map is, it's just full-on LN density. And the thing about LN density is fatigue is going to play a factor because of the amount of notes that are there, and not exactly because of focus, which is something that LN1 had to offer. That being said though, Poland's accuracy is far ahead of what Estonia has right now, but I think it's safe to say that consistency is like roughly around the same level, especially with Hisaela and Arcoxio only dropping 1 miss in total, which is the same as Poland's. So yeah, it's really just the early releases of Hisaela that's giving Poland the lead right now, at least from what I've observed.
Yeah, and that's going to account for the bulk of this lead that Poland was able to build up. Once they got it, they never really let it go, and as the last couple of notes come down, it will be Poland picking up the first break point in this match to make it 1-0. A very good performance overall from everybody. Actually, Arcoxio MVPing the lobby with those 2 drops. The accuracy about 0.2% ahead of everybody else. Very good for them. Gotta watch out for that. If Hisaela can actually lend their support in these future picks, could potentially lead to a bit of a spicy match here. But with that being said, it is Poland up to pick next. Would not be surprised if they delve right back up into that top side of the map pool and went for one of these rice picks.
Gotta be really careful though, like, there's really only so much LN picks remaining. In fact, there's literally only 1 left.
Yeah.
That being said, I think Poland might want to go for Raindrop, cause like it seems like those brackety patterns seem to be benefiting them, even though it's an LN map. Yes, I can sort of observe a little bit of a pattern where Estonia seems to falter a little bit on patterns like that.
But with that being said, it looks like, hold on, the Dark Dragon saying Banka, but retracting it right as they say it, maybe second guessing what they want their first pick to be. It is, we mentioned it in the last match, it is a very risky pick to go into, and it looks like they think better of it. It is actually going to be Unknown Amnesia coming through for Poland.
Very, very interesting pick, but Rice seems to be the way to go, really. For Poland, 2 minutes and 32 seconds, not the longest, but not the shortest either. Then again, OD8 really benefits Poland, because from what I've observed, Hisaela was releasing earlier a while ago. Then again, it is releasing and not necessarily hitting. So we really will be able to see a glimpse of what Hisaela's act is on the Rice picks. Meanwhile, Arcoxio, I think Arcoxio's act is around the same level as the Dark Dragons and Baguetkas, but consistency is going to be the bigger question here.
For sure. So an opportunity presenting itself very early on for Poland to double up on the score advantage. Can Estonia take that breakpoint back and restore parity? Will remain to be seen as we dive on in here. Some very early, dense patterning. Not gonna catch anybody off guard just yet, but we see once again Hisaela dropping quite a considerable amount of accuracy, just hitting early in these early goings. Gonna be able to build back up to that 98% range, but that full percent deficit that they have to the Dark Dragon and Bagietka is gonna account for basically the entirety of this Polish lead.
Then again, the Estonian side is holding really well. Poland is certainly keeping that consistency much needed right now. But the thing is, if Poland makes any mistake, unfortunately, Estonia is the one that's real with Hisaela dropping twice. Can't really blame anyone here for dropping though. Like, this pattern isn't as easy as it looks. Like, it's very technical, and these chords are just not that easy, not that straightforward.
Yeah, for sure. They do a really good job of making it look very easy, but playing through with the pressure added, definitely a bit of a tall order as the Dark Dragon actually drops on that stream transition, gonna reset one of the combos for Poland. 1FC on both sides, but right now Bagietka is holding on to the higher accuracy compared to Arcaxio, and it puts but a minor dent in this Polish lead, still around 30,000 points as we make our way into the last third here. Still plenty to play for, but it would take quite a bit of a collapse here from this Polish side to give Estonia a bit of a chance back into this map overall.
I just noticed this, but Estonia actually has 0 FCs. Arcaxio missed at the very early part of the map, and I only noticed it right now. So at least Bagietka with the very high combo advantage, and not to mention accuracy as well. Impressive performance from everyone, keeping that consistency in check at the very end. But like at this point, everyone's fatigue is starting to kick off, but the parts of the map are gonna be easier a little bit, at least from what I've observed right now. So yeah, this is gonna be safely secured on Poland's side, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Not enough map left to go. These delay streams not giving anybody too many of an issue, and Estonia really needed Poland to have a bit of a rough go during that section to give them a bit of a chance, but it looks like, despite a couple of blemishes here and there to their performance overall, Poland is going to be able to successfully capitalize on that breakpoint to make it 2-0 now.
Quite the interesting start, 2-0, but there were certainly some opportunities for Poland, so for Estonia to take points rather. So, like yeah, as much as I'd like to say these are very good wins for Poland, Estonia has certainly been fighting and trying to keep up with the consistency of Poland right now. Accuracy has just really been a big strength for Poland, and like they've been known for that for a very long time already.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we see Arcaxio going toe-to-toe with the Dark Dragon on these performances, and it's really just the partner difference at the moment accounting for the bulk of these leads. And I mean, to be fair, it's hard finding two players that can perform at a consistent enough level with each other sometimes, especially with these newer countries. But that's why it's great that we see them here being allowed to develop into these more well-rounded players, these players that can perform at these highest levels, as it looks like Estonia's going to flip the script a little bit here, going to shy away from the LNs, go for something a little bit more straightforward. It's going to be Rice 2 Chord Stream, it's going to be Raindrop, and just like that, we are in it in a flash.
In the flash, indeed, though. 2 minutes. What I like about these picks is like there's opportunity for players to make a mistake and still get a shot, but it's also not that long where if you make a mistake, it's really gonna make an obvious mark or a dent, really. Isaela's accuracy has been the highest we've seen so far, and she really has to keep that up. Arcaxio doing everything they can, the highest stack in the lobby, higher than Bagietka. It's really the balance of the Poland team that's giving them a chance. But man, Estonia has a shot right now, and I know they're gonna do everything they can to make sure they can get this.
Yeah, this is the lowest the deficit has been through the early goings. Already making our way into the second quarter of the chart. Only 3,000 points. Not a secure lead over the Polish side, but a lead nonetheless. Can swing in an instant if one of these two players were to find a drop. And like you were mentioning, this is the highest accuracy that Hisaela has found in the early goings of any of these charts, in the 99% range, able to maintain pace with the likes of the Dark Dragon and Bagietka at the moment, with Arcaxio holding on, doing their best. Did find a bit of a slip up here, about a tenth of a percent loss, gonna help increase this lead for Poland. But as we make our way into the back half, these massive chord impacts coming through, not catching anybody out just yet. This is one of the trickiest sections of this chart, and it is going to claim his Ayala right at the end of the section going into the break. Not the section you wanted to miss, but it was pretty clean overall, still above that 99% range, but it will help Poland extend this advantage going into the last quarter here.
This looks really close. Like, this is much closer than the previous picks. And man, Chord Stream has been a strength for Poland right now. They're showing their prowess in this skill set. Never mind as the Dark Dragon finds a drop. But I don't think it's gonna matter too much as the accuracy difference is just way too big for Poland, and not to mention there's only a little bit of the map remaining.
Yeah, for sure. You signed, sealed, and delivered that one to the Dark Dragon, to their mailbox specifically. I'm sure they appreciate you for that. As we make our way into this outro, it was very close for a very long stretch of time. Estonia, their most competitive pick so far, leading up towards that ending, not going to be enough. A very consistent performance, despite Arcaxio actually picking up the MVP. It will be a second breakpoint going the way of Poland to make it 3-0.
Hmm, it's very scary. I mean, oh, they're going for Banka, which, come to think of it, that I think is a good pick. Like, you're trying to go for the accuracy wise, and Estonia's accuracy has been lower, at least overall, in comparison to the Poland's right now.
Yeah, it might be one of those where it's like they sense, okay, we might just have a raw advantage in terms of being able to play some of these more technical charts. We have it on the comfort picks. Let's go for something a little bit that could potentially take you out of your comfort zone a little bit and make this a match point situation, if at all possible, right out of the gate here.
So yeah, Banka is known to not have a high combo and also 2 minutes again. Like, man, these there's just going to be like if one player misses here, there's gonna be a lot of opportunities for the team to capitalize on. Though, gotta be really careful here.
Yeah, any slip up will be punished heavily. I always like to say 200 is not allowed. Misses in this one could potentially be fatal to your country's run. Gotta keep it pristine as you make your way through this particular chart. And right now, everybody doing good. Arcaxio finding the first break in the intro. Still plenty of time, but it will give a bit of free time for Poland to hover above that 400 combo cap when they get there to really stretch this advantage. It's already 14,000 points just based off that one miss and based off the accuracy discrepancies between the four players in this lobby already.
The accuracy lead is greatly on Poland's favor. Not like 299.7s almost, and Isaela finding that drop. That's gonna split it a lead, but wait a second. The Dragon finding a drop, so it's not really gonna make the lead as much smaller, but it's definitely going to keep this lead at least as much of a difference. So there's gonna be a chance for Estonia if Poland finds more drops, but it's highly unlikely given the nature of this map and how Baguetka really plays. Like Baguetka I think is very good at physical stuff, so this should be something that they are very proficient in. Artaxio and Hisaela trying their best. Even though the Dark Dragon finds a mistake, it's not really gonna matter too much as this map is not really gonna have too many graces in there, so the combo is still gonna be intact, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, for sure. We're already in this outro by Getka, keeping it clean so far. Some of the densest chords coming through here, handled expertly by them. Everybody making it through unscathed. As I say that, last couple of notes rain down. It will be the FC for Bagetka. It will be a 4th point for Poland right out of the gate here, despite Estonia's best efforts. Now, when you're back to the wall, what do you go for here to try and potentially wrestle a point away from this Polish roster?
I'm not sure actually. Estonia tried LN, it didn't work. Tried Rice, maybe go for a hybrid then.
Potentially, they do still have all three of the hybrids left on the table. It's just a matter of which one they would want to go for. That, or do you go for the protect? I think they decided to keep LN2 around. So, remains to be seen.
That
They could
is
also go
true.
for Luminaria, but maybe not advised in this instance.
Yeah, maybe Chronoxia works because that was their protect, and there we go.
Yeah, maybe just a comfort pick for both of their players. Did see some release issues with Hysaela on LN3. But this one a little bit more coordination based could potentially let them get into a bit of a groove and keep their UR bar more centered this time around. Remains to be seen, and it will be these four players going at it 5 for 5 now on these maps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just really hope that this Ellen map really offers something that Estonia could probably use to their advantage. But like they're still trying to find an answer to what needs to be done. But so far Poland has been able to exploit everything that Estonia tries to throw in the table. But then again, this Ellen map just throws you a lot of stuff. So I think something can happen. Like you see a lot of those roly LNs that's very technical and all that. And oh, as I say that, the Dark Dragon does indeed find the drop, which is gonna be huge for Estonia.
Yeah, it gives them a window opportunity, but Arcoxio trades it back. Dark Dragon finds a second miss, and the lead stays relatively intact for Poland, about 7,000 points. Still catchable for Estonia through this early going. It's going to come down to Hysaela being able to bring up their accuracy and maintain this FC if they can keep this run clean throughout, and they are unable to capitalize on a golden opportunity as Poland starts to run away with his lead, 25,000 points in an instant. All it took was that singular drop to really blow this lead out of proportion, with Bagietka still holding on to the sole FC in this lobby going into the back half now.
Super unfortunate, like she really had that. I'm referring to Hysaela at the very start, but wow, everyone else except for Bagietka finding a drop, Hysaela finding another one. Super unfortunate. Like yeah, these dense LNs with the technicality in it is really not benefiting Estonia right now, but man, has it helped Poland. Bagietka, these patterns are otherworldly difficult, and man, I think they're just gonna get 990k on this. Oh, what happened?
The Dark Dragon
Oh,
might have
what
left the
happened?
lobby a little bit early. Bit of a desync there. But it looks like, even with that, I think Poland has done enough to secure the victory. A bit of an anticlimactic ending there at the end, but I mean, they had quite a significant lead there at the end. And sure enough, our referee confirms it in the lobby chat. 5-0, Poland wins the match, knocking Estonia down into that lower bracket by a score of 5-0.
Yeah, what a match. Good game to both teams. I hope everyone enjoyed seeing this match. Nice to see Estonia's debut. They definitely had their consistent moments. Everyone showed up today, and I really hope to see more of these performances onto the future matches. I believe there is at least one more match that's after this. It's like an hour from now.
At the top of the hour, we have the final match of the round of 24 weekend. It is going to be the United States taking on Spain at 18 UTC. Once again, congratulations to Poland for winning the previous match. But until then, we have a quite significant break between then and the final match of the weekend. Emily, did you know that there is a way that you can show even more support for any of these countries, even the debutantes that we've seen so far this weekend?
Really? How can you show your support?
You can show your support by going over to the O store during the break, even now that you have about half an hour before the next match, and picking up a banner from the O store to show your support for any of the 24 countries that have made it to the bracket stage of the Osmania 7 Key World Cup 2024.
Wow!
even if later on during the tournament they are eliminated, you can still purchase a banner for them. Show your support to some of your friends, show your support to some of the players whom you thought had standout performances. All the contributions go towards the prize pool and making the overall tournament experience better for everybody involved. So why not show your support?
Nice.
It's only there for a limited time, all the way up until the grand finals. And if you choose, go ahead.
Before you continue, I just want to say, do you think I can afford a banner?
Oh, absolutely. It's there for the low cost of $2.50 USD.
Wow, $2.50. That's so tempting.
Absolutely. And if you choose the winner of this tournament, your banner will stick around for a much longer duration than any of the other countries that would have been chosen. So why not try and choose the winner of this tournament, have that lovely banner decoration on your profile for just that ever so slightly longer before the next World Cup rolls around. And like I said, all the contributions go towards making the tournament as a whole a much better experience for everybody involved. But with that being said, we do have one final match before we close things out and bring you guys the round of 16 showcase. And until then, go ahead and take a break. Maybe play some O's in the meantime. We'll catch you guys in a little bit. Take care, y'all.